Welcome, everyone, to episode 29 of the official podcast for Guardian 1, a Destiny group dedicated to the prosperity of Guardians everywhere. We broadcast live Thursdays at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern, right here on twitch.tv/Guardian 1 Network. My name is Remy, and tonight I am joined by River.
I like the Star Trek reboot.
Crimson Warlock.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Jez.
The shirt is black and blue.
Agrios.
Greetings, Guardians.
And joining us for a third time, Dr. Professor Weeks.
River smells funny.
We're going to be talking about all things Destiny, but first, housekeeping.
All right, everybody. Thank you for everyone who's listening on the podcast, however it is that you choose to listen. Be sure to follow Guardian 1 on Twitter at G1net. That's G1NET. And just a reminder that we only use the numeral 1 whenever we mention Guardian 1 in its shortened form, such as the Twitter account. So again, that's G, the number 1, and ET. In addition, be sure to check out the Guardian 1 website at guardian1.net. You can also send us feedback to our email, feedback@guardian1.net. We also have a Bungie.net forums group that's currently at 132 members. If you want to join, just search for the group name Guardian 1. Guardian 1 has its own clan, so if you want to join the Guardian 1 clan, just select the buttons that say set as PlayStation clan or set as Xbox clan after you join the group. We utilize the forums for comments and feedback, so be sure to join the conversations going on there. Big thank you to all of those currently in the Twitch chat. As Remy said at the top of the podcast, you can watch the show live at twitch.tv/Guardian1 Network. We broadcast every Thursday at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific. Can't catch the show live? You can always go to the Guardian 1 YouTube channel at youtube.com/Guardian Network. Guardian 1 is a proud member of the Guardian Radio Network, so be sure to check out the Guardian Radio Network website at theguardiansofdestiny.com. There you'll find all the different podcasts that's part of the network, including the flagship podcast Guardian Radio. They broadcast every Monday night, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific on twitch.tv/Guardian Radio. You can also follow their Twitter account at Guardians of D and their YouTube channel, youtube.com/Guardian Radio. Other podcasts include Warlock School, TTL Party Chat, the DoD podcast, Robust Radio, and the Audio Grimoire show, basically. It's called Ghosts and Echoes. I definitely suggest everybody check those out. And go ahead, Remy. Go for it.
And you're
come
wrong.
Up with something else, you know.
You're wrong about the Star Trek reboot.
Nah, yeah. In your opinion, sir.
We got a great show tonight. We got the Bungie Weekly update to talk about. We have the patch notes to go over, and we have Operation Supply Drop to discuss with Dr. Professor Weeks. But first, I would like to make a special announcement. Last night, I did procure an Xbox One. So I will be joining everybody on the Xbox One side, and it's kind of a bittersweet moment because as it stands, most of the people on my Xbox Live friends list, they are, I basically had my own version of Destiny to play. Like, I saw that other people were playing. River, I see you on all the time, and I think, man, I need an Xbox One. Like, I could just jump in right now. We could play Destiny right now together. So I've had my own personal Xbox 360 version, and I'll still be playing that because my dad's behind the times. He's probably not going to be picking up an Xbox One until he absolutely has to. But anyone out there looking to add me as a friend, I'm looking to beef up my friends list. add Jim Beardy, 2 words, JIM space BEARDY. And if you're worried that maybe I don't recognize your gamer tag because it says something different than your Twitter tag, just put even just G1 in the message, and I will add you. That being said, I wanted to really quickly go over these 3 controllers in front of me, the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, and the PlayStation 4, the DualShock 4. And in order, the Xbox 360 controller is hands down the best out of all 3 of them. Now, this could be because I played over 80,000 gamer score of games on the Xbox 360, and my hands just might be used to it. Coming in second is this DualShock 4. It took me about 2 months for all of the muscles in my arm to accept the left stick being placed where the D-pad is on the Xbox 360. But after that pain went away, it's really nice. And then finally, what the hell happened with the Xbox One controller? Because it is a piece of crap. It is a total piece of crap.
Get out of here.
And I'll tell you what. It's sad because when I first got the PlayStation 4, I really liked the controller, but the quality of it was not what I was used to. Like, this Xbox 360 controller is a rock. But like, I don't know if you guys can hear this. Can you hear that? That's just me gripping it. Like the process by which they put this together is cheap and chintzy.
Which controller was that you were just gripping?
The DualShock 4, the PlayStation 4 controller.
Now, see, mine doesn't creak at all, and I actually had the opinion that my PlayStation 4 was very much a rock compared to the other controllers that I had used.
Okay.
I will admit that I like the 360 a lot. That's probably my second favorite, but I think I like the shape of the PS4 one better.
Right, and that's another thing, is the shape of the PlayStation 4 isn't quite as comfortable as the Xbox 360. But, I mean, I think that there was like a mole inside the Xbox One camp. Like, PlayStation hired somebody to go in there and purposefully mess with this controller. And the point of all of this, the very hardest point I can't get past, is the right and left bumper. Basically, only 50% of the total surface of the bumper is where you're able to actually click down and press it. And it's only on the outside 50%. So while the Xbox One controller is nice and sturdy like I expect it to, and it doesn't creak at all, and the triggers feel phenomenal. The triggers feel phenomenal in comparison to the PlayStation 4's kind of feel loose in there. The Xbox One is exactly what I expected it to be from the Xbox 360, but these bumpers I have to actually move my hands into an uncomfortable position to do a super. And I find that to be horrible. I mean, I don't want this guy to go out and commit hara-kiri, but he should be fired. The guy who finalized the designs on the bumpers for this should be fired if he hasn't been already. Hopefully it was Don Matrick, because I don't like that guy anyways. But the D-pad is great on the Xbox One, as where on the Xbox 360 it was a not funny joke. So yeah, add me on Xbox One if you would like to play. There's good and bad things about both systems, and I'm going to be enjoying playing on both systems, all 3 systems rather. And that is that. Anybody have anything they want to add to this? You want to defend your controller, or you want to... Anybody?
Xbox One controller all the way. You'll get used to it.
Do we have another hour?
Yeah, really.
You'll get used to it like a rock in your shoe.
Right, I'll get used to it like a rock in my shoe. Perfect.
Chaz. It's like I noticed that your favoritism goes with the amount of time that you spent with each one. I'm sure you did too.
I wish that I could say that that's what this is, but I can't. I just can't imagine like the top of these bumpers where there's actually still movable bumpers. Like, if you press where that little divot is, it's I don't know. Like, if this doesn't work in, then this is horrible.
And also, your whole thing with the super thing, just change your button layout.
To
you
what?
should be doing bumper jumper anyway.
And what does that look like?
Your super's on the A button.
All of it is on the A button?
No, your super's on the A button. You jump with the left bumper. I think right is grenade, something like that. I'd have to actually get in game, but bumper jumper is the way to go.
Well, you know what? I'll give that a try, but I don't know.
Except you'll die a lot before you get used to it.
You're saying in the chat we should go back to the Dreamcast controller. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree too. Dreamcast controller was
Nintendo
awesome.
64 controller.
Oh, screw that! No way. That freaking you little yoke in the freaking center. That was the most. That is the most uncomfortable controller in the history of all controllers.
I actually like the GameCube controller layout. Oddly enough, I thought it worked pretty well for the game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
That's all I got.
All right, so David, why don't you give us the lowdown on what you've come to the show to talk about, and give it to us from the top. I know that you've been on many shows the last couple of weeks, and you've probably said this a million times. Why don't you give our listeners
Actually, you know what?
The spiel.
With every show, I get more stuff to talk about. Like, I keep finding new partnerships and new ways to help promote the charity. So literally every podcast I've been on, I started with TTL Party Chat. I had 2 things to talk about on there. Then on Guardian Radio, I had 3 things to talk about. Then on Dad's, I had 3.
David, I think we lost you.
Uh-oh.
What did Bife do to you?
David, are you there? I think I lost David.
It's not saying disconnecting yet.
Controller died.
Oh, yeah. That's rough.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's another thing. That's another thing about the Xbox controllers is that they're run by batteries. The PlayStation 4 is rechargeable. You throw that bad boy on and then it's ready to go.
I should plug mine in, shouldn't I? But anyway, I'll continue. Where'd you guys last hear? So I know where to start off from.
Someone you had
TTL Party Chat.
Oh yeah, I've run the gauntlet of all the Guardian Radio Network podcasts, and now I've got like 20 things to talk about tonight. So I'm going to be running my mouth for a little while here. I hope you guys can bear with me.
Do it to it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
Do it.
Excited to hear what you have to say, and also there's a lot of opinions on this show, not just mine. So let's have at it. This controller must have died.
Hello? I was just plugging it in. Sorry.
Yeah, there's probably some delay.
Okay. Well, I guess I can start with the Twitch. If you anyone in the audience listening right now was a part of our Extra Life campaign or followed that at all, it's still the same Twitch account. Go to twitch.tv/destiny_fans_give_back, and you can go on there and watch this February 28th at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to be kicking off a huge 24-hour event in support of Operation Supply Drop. They're a military charity. They raise money for either troops that are recovering in hospital or downrange, and basically what they do is they raise money, they buy like care packages of t-shirts and video game consoles and controllers and video games themselves, and they just send them to them. The idea is the Operation Supply Drop was founded under the motto of serving those that serve us, and to be honest with you, those guys risk their lives for us almost every day, so we can at least get them video games. You know what I mean?
Well, even if they're not actively risking their lives, it sucks over there. Like those parts.
Exactly.
Those parts of the world are extremely. The weather itself is a killer.
Yeah, like there was a story on their website from the founder or the CEO. I can't remember who, but he told the story of like they got books once as a donation, and of course they loved them. They were happy to have something to read, but after everyone was done with them, within a week they were using them for target practice. So it's kind of like, video games, they take a while to beat. Everybody can play them if they want to, so it's just like, why not try and give back to them? I mean, so that's the main idea behind this whole campaign, and we just want to raise as much money as we can, as the Destiny community does. We all band together. So that's where you can watch at the Twitch I just put. If either Blue or anyone I'm talking to right now here in the Skype chat could put the link in there, I'd appreciate it. I'm running off like 3 different devices right now, so I can't really grab the link. But that's where you can watch, twitch.tv/Destiny_fans_give_back. If you want to donate, you can go to bit.ly/8bitsalute. That's 8-bit-salute. You can go there. It'll take you right there to our fundraising page. You can donate whatever you want. You can even do a recurring donation if you'd like to. The 8-bit salute page won't go down, I don't think. So if you want to do a recurring donation or anything like that, you can do that, and I will post my own link to that in the chat. Let me think here. We have T-shirts as well. The wonderful folks who designed our promotional materials at thatwizardcamefromthemoon.com. They also made us some wonderful T-shirts. I'll put a link to that in the chat as well. You can go there and buy the T-shirts. They're really cool. They're inspired by old World War II military propaganda posters, like our promotional materials are. So you can snag one of those shirts to also raise money. 100% of the profits go to our charity event, so you don't need to worry about any middleman there taking your money. Man, I'm trying to think. There's so much to cover.
So how did you choose upon this specific charity? And do you have an idea of where you're going to next from here? Like, were you approached, or was this something that you wanted to do? Somebody in the military, or this just called out to you?
To be brutally honest, I was just looking for something that was video game oriented, because
because that makes a lot of sense.
Right? It makes a lot of sense, and my family's not a huge military family, but I definitely have a decent amount of family members in there. Oh, by the way, I just put the shirts in the chat if you guys want to check them out. But yeah, I thought it made sense, and I figure this can be our last bout in the video game realm of charities, except for Extra Life and this, and then we'll see what else is out there. I mean, I looked at a couple dozen others. Charity water, to send water to South Africa, people who need it. There's charities to raise money to promote organ donation. There's no limit to what we can tackle. But I thought I would try. Just keeping it in video games for now. And actually, Pyro, one of Dado's mods, is picking our next charity event. So we'll see what he picks.
Very cool. Very cool. And yeah, it makes a ton of sense to do one that's video game related. All right. Anyone have questions for?
I have more stuff to go over first.
Well then get to it.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just have so much. But you guys can ask me questions while I'm looking up stuff real quick. Anyone have anything to ask?
I know that you, River, said that you were in the military last time that we got together. So what do you think about all this? Do you have a question or a specific comment for Dr. Professor Weeks?
Well, not really any questions, since I'll be actually taking part of this stream for Guardian 1.
That's what I'm pulling up right now, the schedule.
So I'm pretty familiar with Operation Supply Drop. I do got to say that being deployed out there, whenever you have those rare moments where you need something to do, I don't think I actually brought my 360 with me whenever I actually deployed overseas, and me and my buddy just played crap load of all the games that I brought whenever we had some downtime, and I was very, very glad that I brought that with me, because I like David said, a book you can read once and then probably use it for target practice.
Pretty much,
right?
Video
games. It's really cool to have that sort of thing, especially with your buddies. That you're out there with, that sense of camaraderie to kind of get together every time. So it's not. It's a big deal. It's a big deal to these troops. It's a big deal to these guys and gals, of course, who they really appreciate everything that Operation Supply Drop does. I've actually been following Operation Supply Drop for a while now, and they're really helping these guys out, man. I really appreciate it. You actually picking this one, Dave.
Hey, you know what? I like to help wherever I can, and if I can help this, it's totally awesome. But I got the schedule pulled up, so I'll go over that real quick while we're discussing it. Me and Guardian Radio are kicking it off with a couple of members of Destiny Dispatch and Guardian Radio. Then we got Josh Schmidt, who runs the Loot Cave. I don't know if you guys heard of him or not.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, he's super cool. He volunteered, like, let me do something. I'm like, okay, I don't know you, but sure. Then we've got ThatWizardCameFromTheMoon.com, the fellows from over there, who made our graphics. They're going to be running a couple things, Crucible, Patrol. They actually told me they're going to be doing a weapon wheel type thing, where they'll like have a wheel spin and it'll pick a weapon. It can either be green, exotic, purple, or whatever. And if it's green, they have to run like a heroic strike with it or something the whole time.
Half of it is No Land Beyond.
I know, right? I'm gonna tell them to put that in the rotation now. Be like, you guys have to make your only exotic No Land Beyond, just for kicks and giggles.
I might even do that myself.
So we've got them for 2 hours, and we've got the GTL Outlaws. They're gonna be running Xbox One on Destiny. Then we've got. This is a little strange. I was told to differentiate the Dads of Destiny with the Dads of Destiny podcast. So we've got the Dads of Destiny. Then we've got the Dames. Then we've got the Jerk Cast. I hope you guys know what that is, or at least you should.
Oh yeah.
Then we've got Legends of Earth running Destiny on Xbox One. TTL is going to take over for a while again. Then we've got the DoD podcast. Then we've got Guardian One, me and River, and whoever else wants to join. Then we've got Rated M Gaming Network, and then the Dungeon Protocols clan, Watts' clan. If you guys know who he is, they're going to be taking over too. So that's what the schedule looks like.
Very cool. And this is one full 24-hour period?
Yes, sir. We are not stopping. And if we do, someone's going to lose their head, by my account. And Rectify Gaming, they're a little online community. They're going to be running their own stream as well to help support this. So make sure you follow them. And if you can't watch or you don't want to watch, I understand people have short attention spans. If you go to DestinyLFG.com, find yourself a group to play with. If you look for a group and then you select an event, select Operation Supply Drop, and if you match yourself a group up with that moniker, you'll raise 50 cents for the charity, up to $250. So make sure you go to DestinyLFG.com to also help us raise money just by finding a dang group and playing Destiny. I mean, how much easier can it get than that?
I like it.
Exactly. So I'll put DestinyLFG.com in the chat. I think that's it. I think. We'll have prizes to give away as well. We have one Destiny art book to give away. We have 11 boxes of energy shots to give away. I don't know how we're doing that. And then we have... Let's see here. And then we have 2 Dames of Destiny water bottles to give away. So, I think that's all I have to go over. Do you guys have any questions before I stop running my mouth? Because I know I've been running it for a damn long while.
Well, I don't really have a question, but I'd like to say, aside from this being a great cause and like supporting great things, like the streams are just great. There's a lot less negativity than there is in a lot of general streams because everybody's kind of there for a good cause to a degree. And I had a great time watching them and chatting with people in the comments and whatnot. I even won a sweet glass water bottle from Bungie.
A glass water bottle?
Wasn't that metal, you mean?
No, it was glass. It's
No way.
Yeah, the whole thing's glass. It's fairly large. It's got the fist holding the lightning bolt, crest on it. It printed in red. It's clear, and then top of the water ball is like light gray with like a flip top, so you can like drink out of it.
Was this the Extra Life stream you won this?
I'm pretty certain that's what it was on.
Was it the second one or the first one?
I don't remember exactly.
Because it has to be the second one, because I don't think we gave away water
I
bottles
think it
during
was
the
the
first
second
one.
one. It was.
Yeah.
I answered a question in comments. It was actually the
Oh
question.
yeah,
when,
then it was definitely that. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's cool. I know they gave out. I thought it was the metal water bottles, not the. I didn't know they had a glass one. That's really
Yeah, it's
cool.
really sweet. I'll try to put a picture of it after the show. I'll put a picture up on Twitter of it, and I'll link you. I'll put you in the tweet.
Well, that's awesome. Yeah, there's gonna be questions for the prizes this time, although they're not gonna be as hard because we don't have as much. So we just want to push it out to people for watching and all that stuff. Um, but yeah, I'm glad you could win that, and thanks for watching. I really appreciate all the interactivity and all the
I had a
all
great
the
time.
yeah. I mean, I apparently all the effort everyone puts into these shows. So that's what I like to do. I like to organize things. Oh, and I probably should announce that Belle from Dames of Destiny is going to be co-producing this with me. I guess that's what I do. People say I produce this, so yeah, she's going to be co-producing it with me, and Pyro Maniacal on Twitter is going to be leading the moderators. So huge thanks to both of them. This it wouldn't be possible for me to put this thing together so quickly without them. So thanks, guys. And yeah, anything else? Because I can run my mouth all night about the dang charity. I don't want to get too involved.
Well, I have a feeling that there will be bullet points that pop into your brain as we discuss things.
Yeah.
So,
one thing I should mention
Well,
is
I've
that.
got a question for you, real quick, though.
Oh, go right ahead.
So how are you hoping that the video games get delivered? I mean, are you just going to give them the money and hope that's what it's used for? Are you like donating it to a giant Steam account and people can download
the way
games
it
from that?
works is people can go to our donate page and they can just donate however much they want. Like they donate $10, whatever, done and over with. But the way it works is we're actually going really early, like the actual day, because what the 24-hour marathon is an 8-bit salute, which is basically Operation Supply Drop's Extra Life thing where you stream for 24 hours, and the official day to do that is in like May. May is typically when they do that. So I know I'm going to be real busy around May, so I decided to make it earlier than that. So we're actually streaming really early. Actually, to center the point, kind of, their founder followed me on Twitter the other day, and he tweeted at me saying like, "Hey, this is the biggest pre 8-bit salute event we've had." So no pressure on you or anything like that.
Yeah, no pressure. No pressure.
So we're actually really early. So the way it works is when everyone donates after May rolls around, like people can just that's the donate page, Jess. Thank you very much for putting that in the chat. After everyone's done donating around May, all the donations will be taken, and the way they'll do it is it'll either go to them actually sending games and t-shirts and all that stuff, or it'll go to their other program where they basically get veterans early access to video games and stuff like that. They get to preview them, they get to go to E3, whatever they can do. So that's where everybody's money will be going for donating. And that's why I stress the recurring donations, because we're early. The money won't be going out until May. So if you want to do a recurring donation, please, I implore you, that would be the best way to do it, because we got a while to go, but we're just doing our marathon early because it works out for everyone that way. Thank you for the question.
I'm kind of hoping that they don't send Destiny out there. Like as much as I want everybody to enjoy Destiny, Like it's really a cruel mistress,
They
like
update it.
productivity.
Yeah.
Productivity would just bottom out in those areas. And also, the rage. There's that RNG rage, like how many times do I have to run this,
Oh my God.
before I get something worth it, and I don't know. So,
Their sergeants would be yelling at them.
right, taking it out on them.
Yeah, for real.
Here, play my
Hey
character.
Pyro. Hey Pyro in the chat. I just gave you a huge shout out. Nothing bad, don't worry. But keep going, Remy.
Also, about that, Pyromaniacal, very, very super friendly, super helpful person in this
He's
Destiny
amazing.
community. And
Mhm.
I have to know, Pyro, please put this in the chat. Why is it that you went with this name? Because I feel like it's doing you a disservice. When I first saw this person named Pyromaniacal, I thought, well, this person isn't going to be good for anything. Like.
Well, you know what? It's better than Destiny Author. Because you know what? He doesn't get hate mail. I do.
Yeah.
You're the one who wrote Destiny.
I know. At least every 5 days, someone's like, either someone's like, oh my God, where should I go to college to write for video games or something like that, or they're like, oh my God, you're the worst person in the world. Destiny sucked. Get out of here. Every 5 days, without fail. And I always have to tell them, please direct your hate mail here, or please direct your questions to these gentlemen. So yeah.
Yeah, you know what? When I first saw you, David, before Destiny came out, I never thought that you were Destiny's author. Like I always understood that
You're the only person.
I always understood that this was just a moniker that you've taken. Like you are into Destiny, and you are most certainly an author. Like you've taken these two aspects of your life, and you've put them together, and this is what this is. So yeah, I feel bad for you, and at the same time, this is some valuable feedback you're getting from these people who aren't really paying very much attention.
Well, originally it was a handle assigned to me back when Destiny Dispatch was Destiny News. So
Oh,
it wasn't my choice. It was given unto me.
interesting.
But I've just ran with it as like a pseudonym so people don't know my real name.
Right? It's
Called
too late
branding.
now. It's
Well,
too late.
all they know listen, shh, no one
Everyone
has to
knows
know.
your first name now is Professor.
Right?
Hmm.
That's
Doc-
right. That's
Dr.
my first
Professor,
name.
It's a hyphenated.
My middle name is David, and my last name shall forever remain a secret.
Well, I don't know how much of a secret it really is.
Especially
Yeah, that's
considering
only what Mark introduced me as. He's like, "Oh, hey, it's Destiny author David Weeks." Ooh. I'm like, "Oh, perfect."
Totally. You know what
Just-
though? You definitely are not. You definitely don't have any anonymity in the community.
I try to whenever Bungie post, like when we got interviewed for Extra Life, I had them put me in as David W. I'm like, that's all you're getting. That's all you're getting.
I like it. Jez, you're the only person who hasn't had a chance to ask a question or comment. Did you have something that you wanted to talk to the doctor about?
I'm wondering if he knows that his Skype name has his real name in it.
Yeah,
You got me, Jez.
If
You
you
got
look
me.
at our, yeah.
This
Well,
is my
luckily-
alternate Skype, okay?
Luckily, this is not. News to people. Luckily, if you don't know what your name is, it's because you're not paying attention at all.
Then you don't deserve his name.
That's right. That's all you're getting. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you, Jez. I appreciate that.
But no, it is a great foundation to donate to.
Absolutely. Any more
And
questions?
Jez pointed
before we
out
move on?
in the chat that the fundraiser is actually accepting donations now. So
Yeah, we've been
Please.
accepting donations for like a month. So
Mhm.
go ahead and donate. It's in the chat. Just put it in there because he's awesome.
Right on. All right. Well, David, thank you for being on the show, and thank you for talking to us about this. And throughout the rest of the show, feel free to just chime in when you realize that you've forgotten something or anything that you want to add. But now we are going to be moving on to Agrios with the news.
And go.
Remember that time
Trips
that
to the
you
mute
didn't?
button.
Remember the time you didn't go when someone was waiting for you,
Oh,
River?
Oh yeah.
It's funny now to me, like in the beginning of these shows, I was like really stressed out about just dead air, and now it's just hilarious. Like I know that Agrios is there, I know that he's ready to talk about this, and I know that he probably actually is going right on time, like hasn't missed a beat, and it's just chirp chirp.
I guarantee my delivery, while you guys can't hear me, is perfect.
Yeah, no, I'm certain it is. How could it not be?
All right. Well, big week. 1.1.1 landed as they called within February. They kept their word. It came with a range of the fixes and changes that we've been talking about for the past couple of weeks, along with a few surprises. To start off, I'm just going to go over most of the changes quickly. The general changes to the game. They fixed the heavy ammo bug for the most part. When you respawn after death, you still retain your heavy ammo. Although there's been a few instances where if you return from orbit, you lose the heavy ammo still. And I've experienced personally once or twice where after an odd death, I did lose some ammo strangely. And more than normal, but that was only once, so that might have just been a single one-time glitch. Have you guys experienced any oddities with the heavy ammo since the patch here?
I could still shoot heavy weapons after dying. It's amazing.
Oh no way!
Eyes. He means he keeps his ammo.
Oh wait.
Oh,
No wait. You keep your ammo after you die? Oh okay.
Yeah.
No, I see what you're saying now. I see what you're saying now. You know,
Nice one, Jazz.
So I didn't really ever pay attention to this. Like I know that I probably should have, but you know, again, I haven't come to those situations where I absolutely have to have X amount of heavy ammo per, you know, every time I go into a situation. So it was my understanding that people were losing increments every time they died. So if you had 7 rockets, you died, you went down to 5 rockets, you died, you went down to 3 rockets, you died, you went down. So it was only going down until you hit that cap of what you were supposed to have to begin with, yeah?
No,
No.
it was going all the way down.
It was
'Cause it
going
would
all the way
add-
down?
Because
As
the
long as you
excess
wear-
ammo was after everything else.
Totally, but once you hit a certain wall, like a naked guardian could hold some kind of 4 rockets, you know?
it was doing was if you were wearing the boots that gave you the heavy ammo perk, because of whatever way the perks were applied previously, it was removing the amount of extra ammo that the boots or whatever gave you each time you died. So if you started 7 rockets, because your boots give you 2 extras, you normally carry 5. Every time you died, you'd lose 2 rockets till you only had 1 left, and then you just keep that one.
Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. What a crazy glitch.
You know,
So, yeah,
was
that
I the
was that
only one who
nutshell.
thought? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, was I the only one that thought that's how heavy ammo was supposed to work?
I
You were supposed to
actually
lose it?
thought that. I actually thought that you were supposed to lose some when you died.
Yeah, I didn't realize it until Bungie pointed it out, and I'm like, oh shit. Well, all right then. Thanks, Bungie.
Yeah, it seemed more like it was supposed to be a punishment, but
But the downside to that, though, is that it would also do it anytime you went to a cutscene. So, like, for instance, Dark Below, where you analyze the dead guardian you find there, and you go to that cutscene and come back, you lose 2 rockets there as well. So even if it were a punishment, it wasn't behaving as it should anyway.
yeah.
I could totally see the justification for keeping it there. It makes kind of sense to me. And in fact, they talked about how you would lose the heavy ammo if you died in the Crucible beforehand, before the game was released. So I agree with you. It felt very natural at first.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just glad Bungie fixed it, even though I didn't know it was a problem. You know, that's kind of why I tip my hats to them, because they do a lot. Even though, you know, they also messed up a lot, but that's okay. We love them.
That is okay.
Moving on. The next thing, the over-penetration value for weapons with armor-piercing perks is a surprise change. We didn't know that was going to come. Has anybody been a fan of their armor piercing guns and felt the change?
I haven't tried it, and I haven't noticed.
I haven't played with any myself either.
Me either.
I
Right
personally,
Yeah, I haven't touched it yet. I haven't actually played Destiny since the update's been out. So
well, then you won't feel quite so bad. It's from someone who was getting quite into using it. It definitely made me a lot less enthused. I had my LER 5001 arc sniper with armor piercing from the vendor. I bought it just for the fact that it was a good armor piercing sniper. And even though I had other better snipers in all respects except for armor piercing, it was my go-to sniper because, like, when the sword bearer is dancing around behind rocks, I could just shoot him right through the rock.
That's
like
awesome.
that.
And now you
Yeah.
can't do that?
And no, they decreased the penetration value, and there's some other oddities. People are examining it now, trying to hammer out exactly how the change works. But for instance, you can't shoot through the rocks to shoot the sword bearer anymore. There was another way that you could use armor piercing to shoot the wizards in with Ur-Ute to get them to come out, so you didn't have to risk running in the room. That you can no longer shoot through that floor, and that seems like a fairly thin portion of floor. So they seem to have differentiated materials in the game, as in structural things like real floors and real walls can't be shot through, but crates can, even if the crates are like thicker. So they're still hammering out the details, but it definitely is not my go-to sniper anymore.
Crazy. Yeah, I never got a chance to really get into that. Like, I know that there's people that would do that, but I guess it just never made sense to me. I guess it just never made sense why I'd be able to shoot through a wall. I mean, even though in real life that makes sense. Bullets be going through walls.
No, it still has limited use. It still goes through thin walls and metal grates and things like that. From what I understand, there's still some decent use in PvP. Like, for instance, Twilight Gap. There's lots of places where there's metal grates that are very thin that you can see through just barely. So you could use an armor-piercing rifle to go ahead and shoot people right through those thin grates and walls.
Crazy and awesome.
Moving on, they fixed an issue where items from the PS3/360 Destiny demo were using old power values. They've been adjusted to regular levels. I'm not 100% certain exactly what they're referring to there, whether there were ones that were appearing at level 300 and shouldn't have been, or if they're referring to the people who happened to get the level 365 weapons from their Christmas gifts.
Yeah, I don't know. This is one of those things that I don't know. I wanted to, when the Husk of the Pit first showed up and it was showing up in the demo, I really, really wanted to download the demo and then go into the demo and then try and get it through there. But I was just so worried about screwing up my inventory. Like I didn't want it bad enough to possibly lose progress. Because it is just a demo, and I don't know. You did. Well, yeah, you did try it. It did not work.
No, you couldn't get back into demo status once you had already played the full game.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's good.
Continuing. I was actually going to ask though. Has anybody come across anybody with any of the 365 weapons, or does anyone know anybody who happened to get one of those?
Yeah, I have no idea what you're even talking about.
I didn't know this existed. I only knew of the random person that was all over Reddit, but I thought that was someone internally.
There's lots of people that got them. In fact, it had to do with people who I might be getting some of the exactities here wrong, but from what I understand, people who got the Christmas gift, the Bungie Christmas gift, that you decoded into a random weapon that everybody got near Christmas time, just afterward. Anybody who was in the demo got that gift. And if I think I understood correctly, if they waited till after the next patch and opened it, it was a House of Wolves level weapon. It was a current weapon, not a new weapon that didn't exist yet, but it was at the 365 attack value.
Crazy and awesome.
I've seen multiple auto rifles and some other scout rifles and things with that on it. Like
Yeah, I've never.
images of.
Oh, I've seen images of them, but I've never seen them in game.
Well, I mean, they're images from people's accounts. Like people have them. You could go to their accounts and like look at them on their like profile.
Ah, gotcha. Gotcha.
So that's interesting. I was wondering if this referred to that. If anybody knew anybody that had one of those weapons, I was interested to know if it had reverted itself or if it was still at 365. But moving on, the Song of Ur weapon tooltip now advertises the correct magazine size. So they made a small change there. Did anybody notice any other changes like that? Or it's curious that some of the weapons have different reported values. I know For the People from the Crucible vendor reports the wrong amount. Does anybody know if that was corrected?
I do not.
Never even noticed.
Yeah, I believe it reports a 26 round magazine, but it actually has a 34, like a Shinjin class gun does. If I'm not mistaken.
Which gun are we talking about?
For the People from the Crucible vendor.
The one gun that shoots the bullets. It makes a pew pew noise when you pull the trigger.
No, that one. I have that one.
It's
I got two.
funny. It's funny that the only gun that I know of that has the wrong value is also the only one they didn't change. It's truth. So
I think they call
lie.
it the Pepe Le Pew Pew.
Continuing.
Continuing.
The Shoot to Loot now has a 2-second cooldown added to the perk to prevent extra ammunition gains while ammunition bricks despawn. That was another surprise change that made the Shoot to Loots much less sought after. However, I still find them quite useful.
Well, see, here's what bothers me about this, is that I didn't even know that I could be doing this up until now. You know, like, this is the first I've even heard about this, doubling down on the same piece of ammo. Like, that's cool. I mean, it's that's crazy. Yeah, and I didn't know that this was a thing, but now it's patched and all gone.
It was curious. I wasn't sure whether it was intended or unintended. I mean, I was leaning toward unintended, but I mean, that could just be an advantage of that perk, is that you're able to get more out of it based on your skill level. I mean, because you had to have skill to be able to get close enough and not get hit in battle, to sit there and shoot a brick more than once, to avoid the kick on the gun, because you don't have long to get your shots into it. But clearly it was unintended.
Clearly.
The Dark Breaker perk will now correctly damage Hive Shriekers. I was unaware. With the Dark Breaker perk, that's on a weapon? Or is that on a class build?
Raid weapons, I thought.
Is that what that one's called there? That's what I thought it was. I hadn't actually looked in game to see if that was the name of that perk yet. But apparently, I was unaware it was not damaging Hive Shriekers.
The raid weapon one is called Hive Disruptor.
Yeah, that's
so
what I
which
thought.
one's Dark Breaker?
I'm
You
not
know
sure.
what? I just remembered something about the charity, but I will wait my turn. Keep going, gentlemen. I knew I missed something. Gosh darn it.
It's on Song of Ur-U. It's the projectiles will overpenetrate through Hive Night Walls of Darkness.
Ah,
So they count Hive Shriekers as having Hive Night Walls of Darkness?
Apparently, that's the only weapon I know of that has Darkbreaker.
Interesting. Okay.
wait. Oh, so is that shell considered the casing then? Can you shoot through that shell when it's closed?
I might have to try that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that might be what that is. Interesting.
Interesting.
I'm stroking my beard currently in amazement.
Because you don't have a beard?
Nobody can see me. No one needs to know.
Because that's why I'm amazed by that statement.
Hey, I moved to Texas. I could have a beard by now.
This is true.
You
This
never
is
know.
true.
Which, by the way, everyone in the chat, I haven't been. When I was last on G1, I was a Texan. Now, or I was a New Yorker. Now I'm a Texan. So that's how long it's been. To put that in reference for you. I just don't think they like me here.
Nah, we definitely like you. I'm glad you're so close now.
See, River can
Hey.
now come visit me, and I can unfortunately smell him now. I can smell him all the way down here. He's in Oklahoma.
Hmm.
So what was the move about? Why
I
did you
think
go?
New York sucks.
And you thought
Ouch.
Texas was better?
Oh hell yeah!
In what capacity?
The economy actually exists here. Like you can tell that they have like there's actually stuff going on down here.
Yeah, I'll go along with that.
Like it's just like I spent 3 weeks looking for a job up in New York. Couldn't find anything. I got one my first day here.
Well,
Just to
then
put it
it's
in perspective.
then it's a way of shame that they don't like you there.
Yeah, for real.
You took their gerb.
Anyway, Pyro brought up another point I should probably bring up a little later here, but I forgot to bring up something about the charity, and she's probably gonna kill me for this. You guys know who Desiree Bowen is?
Who doesn't?
I do now.
Wow, good response, Remy. But she made that one thing about the Destiny. No, she's a great. She makes arrangements about video games for the most part. She's a great pianist. She recently made one for this Operation Supply Drop campaign. It's the Cabal Stomp arrangement she made. I'll put it in the chat right now. You can go listen to it. She made it totally in honor of the campaign, and she did a great job with it. She made it in a day. I was like, hey, can you do this thing? And she was like, yeah, I can do that thing. So she did the thing, and now it's in the chat, and you guys should give it a listen. So go ahead and listen. She's got all the details in there if you want to donate. If you haven't already, which you should be doing. But yeah, you can click that link and then go listen to it. It's a beautiful arrangement. Thanks for reminding me. I forget to remind me, but thanks for reminding me, guys, about that.
Yeah, super talented. Very very awesome. Very awesome. We are actually already 8 minutes past the time when we're supposed to end, and I know people are looking forward to getting into some Destiny. So why don't you just spill anything else that you got, David?
I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to extend the podcast too much, but
Don't worry about it. It's not your fault.
No, Jazz, not there. Let me see.
It didn't
I met
copyright.
Dado recently.
Oh, awesome! I saw that on Twitter.
I got to meet the Dado. We were I was in Austin last Friday for a Rooster Teeth thing, and sure enough, there was Dado. He said he was there because he's like, man, barbecue sandwiches at Let's Play Live, heck yeah. And I'm like, I smell barbecue sandwiches, and I'm at Let's Play Live. Where the hell is Dado? So I sent him a DM, like, yo, let's meet up. And sure enough, we met up for a picture, and I guess I'll put that in the chat. So I thought I would bring that up real quick. That was
yeah,
really-
Dato's awesome. I got to meet him at the at a thing before the release of Destiny, and he's super cool. A lot of people ask him how he gets so many, like how he has so many, or how to keep people's attention during streams that's not 100% gameplay. And really, my answer to those people is just to be who you are. Because if you are just you, you don't have a choice but to be you. And if people like that, then they're going to follow. And that's what Dato does. Dato isn't being anybody other than himself, and therefore, people like that. People
Indeed.
people can smell through BS. And so, yeah, Dato's a way cool guy. Was that the last thing that you thought up, David?
For now, yes. If I have anything else, I'll make it very brief. But yeah, just donate and go watch on the 28th. And that's about it. Thanks, guys. I'll just participate in the news talk now. Thank you.
All right, so we're gonna have to wrap up this a bit quicker. Agrios, if there's anything else in this list that you want to make sure that we go over, go ahead and find that now. I did want to bring up the fact that Guardians no longer drop heavy ammunition when killed in PvP, and oh my god, this makes me so happy, because the worst thing ever is sitting on heavy ammunition and then having it go to the other side when you get killed. Like this was something that's always really bugged me, knowing that because I didn't just shoot those rockets into Nowheresville, now my team's going to be on the other end. And when questioned about this, I believe it was Irk said that it was more about. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, it was.
It was one of those cool guys from Bungie. I'm certain they'll understand.
Way to narrow it down to everybody.
Right? Right? Well, I'm certain at least one of those people at Bungie isn't very cool. I mean, come on, there's 500 people there. What are the odds that every single person there is awesome? One of those guys got to be a dick, right? One of them. But yeah,
He's the one jerk at Bungie.
He said that it was more about pacing and that heavy ammunition was staying in the game too long. It was meant to be more of a punctuation to the game instead of walking around with it forever. And I watched Bife stream some Crucible one time, and he sat with that heavy machine gun for a long time. It was like
Thunderlord, yeah.
It was like 1, 2, 3 at max, and then the people are just dropping, and you still have a lot of ammunition after that. I don't ever take heavy machine gun into Crucible just because I have to get it out of me before someone kills me and steals it from me. So I would just it's the same thing I did in Halo. I would run and pick up the sniper rifle and just shoot all the rounds out of it into nothing just to make sure that the other team didn't get it, because those sniper guys are quick and accurate, and tide turners. Gotta waste the ammo. But yeah, let's I'm just going to run this until the people on the panel tell me it's time to stop. So did you have anything else you wanted to go through, Agrios, from this from the 1.1.1, or can we move on to the Bungie Weekly Update?
I mean, no, we hit most of the important things. Most of the other things that landed 1.1.1 were all things that we talked about in the weeks ahead. Before the other things were all pretty much expected. The weapon changes, the assault rifle nerf, and the pulse rifle buff. People aren't real thrilled with the assault rifle nerf. From all estimations, it works out to actually be in total a 10 to 15% drop in DPS, mostly affecting the high impact ARs. Have any of you had much experience with this yet?
Really?
Yeah, I can't use my Suros anymore.
Are you kidding me?
No, I don't think these updates are really affecting the exotics as much as people think.
Yeah.
It just takes a minute to get back used to them. You know what I mean? Because it's a little different, but you can get the curve right back.
I honestly don't feel any difference in my Suros at all.
Interesting. I will get back to you on this next week because I will have had a chance to play with it then. Not looking forward to being let down by it. I actually heard people talking about Thorn didn't feel the same way. Have you had a chance to check that out, River, or you just moved on from that?
No, I just went to try out the update, and Suros felt the same. However, I felt like my scout rifle felt a little bit better in comparison to other players now, since the range has been kind of nerfed a little bit on these more powerful weapons. So scout rifles is looking pretty good to me right now.
Cool.
As
Cool.
someone that just did the rest of the Bad Juju Bounty again, I can tell you that hand cannons like Hawkmoon are much easier to go way off target.
Instead of landing a perfect headshot?
Yeah.
Interesting. Oh, you know what? Maybe I even felt that last night. When did this patch drop? Yesterday sometime?
Yeah.
Earlier.
Yeah, totally. I was using the Red Hand 9 and I felt like my shots were going wildly off target. I figured it was just this piece of crap Xbox One controller.
Oh, and as your guy on the ground, it doesn't change. You can't shoot through the shields for Hive Shakers.
Oh, okay. Okay, you gave that a try and it didn't work?
No, just all immunes.
Gotcha.
So was the problem before that it let people do that?
I don't know. I never tried, honestly.
No,
Interesting.
it was still immune, I think.
Okay. Well, the couple other things that came with 1.1.1, the Iron Banner playlist will now contain smaller maps in rotation, which is kind of interesting. If they're going to be introducing smaller maps, I wonder how they're going to handle the fact that Iron Banner is control, seeing as they don't run control on some of the smaller maps.
Interesting.
They also have changed the focused aggression bounty, that's the auto rifle headshot bounty, to now be able to be completed with most primaries, and that should hopefully not make it such an auto rifle fest during at least the beginning of Iron Banner.
Good change.
Unintended consequences rearing their ugly head.
They also made a big grimoire change. A lot of you may have noticed your grimoire shooting up by a fairly substantial number of points, the new total being 2930 for total grimoire. But many cards that didn't previously apply or give points appropriately have now issued their points correctly.
Awesome.
One bug that was introduced was the fact that in PvP now, the Vex Mytha class will start with reduced ammo because it's considered a fusion rifle and falls under the fusion rifle ammo nerf for PvP.
Good, because using the Mythoclast in PvP is cheating. If you are using the Mythoclast in PvP, you are cheating.
Don't
Continue.
be so bitter.
By the way, the Mythoclast bug is also a sign that you should note that you can get your fusion rifle bounty done really easy with a Mythoclast.
Totally.
Pro tip.
Totally. I
Jesus,
want the
pro tip.
Mythoclast so bad.
Or
The Mythoclast so bad.
Even the Eris bounty that's to kill Hive really quickly with your special weapon.
Oh yeah. Crazy. Crazy.
All right, so moving into the Bungie Weekly Update. They brought a engineering lead, Chris Gossett, to talk about the changes to the mobile vault. You can now move your inventory freely on the mobile app or on the website from your other characters to your vault and into your character that you're currently on in real time, even if you're right in the middle of a raid or anything like that. In fact, they list a few scenarios where it might be handy. You and your buddies are finally all online at the same time about to tackle a nightfall. One player in your fire team realizes there's a solar burn this week and wants to retrieve their icebreaker from another character. No more waiting. You're on the bus and want to manage gear between a couple characters. You can move stuff around and jump right into the action when you get home. Or you're halfway through a mission and realize that you need a fusion rifle with Void. You can just get it right there and then, right in the middle of the raid, have it ported to you. It just pops up like you had just picked up an engram or received an item. This even works for your inventory, such as like strange coins and heavy ammo synths, and you can even break down stacks to not pull the whole stack off of a character, something you can't even do in-game.
Yeah.
This is huge.
Yeah, this is huge. This is super huge and super exciting, but I feel like they swung it too far the other direction because one of these they say, oh, you're halfway through the daily story mission and you realize you need that fusion rifle with Void. Well, in my mind, I can totally see the justification of being able to just pull it out. Like, this is an ease of use thing, like an incredible ease of use thing. But at the same time, like, I feel like they've now made it too easy. Like, there is no having to hold out somewhere special, trying to deal with what you got and make it work. Now it's just, well, let me just switch that around. I feel like it swung from being maybe too difficult to get items in and out to being too easy. River, where do you line up on this?
I feel that as long as they still do the special weapon deal, where if you switch out a weapon in game, like in the middle of a firefight or something like that, and you lose all your ammo, I'm okay with this.
Warlock?
I like the ease of use, but I kind of agree with you. Where if you forget that trump card, it's always available to you. Just like, oh, let me be safe for 5 minutes while I find exactly where that item is and get it onto my character. It does kind of, piss poor performance, or piss poor planning makes piss poor performance, and they kind of just fix that up for you. So yeah, like I think they do need to maybe make it so you can't do it while you're in combat. Exactly. I mean, like, for example, like, I mean, granted, this isn't the best situation, but you do this in PvP, you know. Oh crap! I'm losing my Rumble match. Let me get my Vex Mythic Blast and or whatever you feel like your trump card weapon is. How's that really fair for everyone else in the Rumble match?
Well,
Well,
if you were
to be
going into
fair, you could
PvP.
have 9 of them anyway, 9 slots
Yeah.
anyways.
And going into PvP, you'd probably have your trump card anyways.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't ever go into PvP without having the lineup that I know that I want. That's a really good
Mhm.
point.
Also, if you have slaves, unless you have slaves or minions running around, chances are you're going to be standing still for a good 10, 15 seconds at least, switching these weapons.
Man,
Let me
for a
open up
second
my
there,
app.
for a second there, Jez, I had no idea where you were going with this. And I was about to get real concerned. I'm like, okay, okay, I'll let you finish your sentence. Like, what
I'll let you
exactly are you
finish,
talking
but-
about?
I don't know where I was going with it either. It was just
Well,
a
no, it makes sense
random
now
choice
that
of words.
the context. No, that totally makes sense. Like these are these are people that you have lined up to wait for you while you do this.
It'd be like, oh, I need you to switch my weapons.
right, exactly.
Such
I
a
get it.
weird thing.
I get it. David, what do you think about this?
Be honest with y'all, I don't have enough time to play to use it. But
Mhm.
it honestly seems really cool. I think they needed it from the beginning because I've had that happen all the damn time. Like, we get a raid group together, we all get heavy ammo, we're all ready to go, we go to orbit, and then someone's like, oh shoot, I forgot my Gallarhorn. So we all gotta go back, they gotta get it on and all this other crap. So it's a necessary feature for Destiny that hinges on a group being ready, because if one person forgets something, then everybody's going back to get it. So
Then they
It-
come back and they're like, oh, I also forgot my Hawk Moon. Oh, wait,
Yeah.
no, they didn't. Because it's Xbox.
so it's a necessary feature among many others. So I approve.
Agrios?
I think it's great, especially like for the timekeeping, like you say, like not making other people wait on you. It's already bad enough trying to switch things between the vaults. Like any time you can save off of like trying to organize 6-man activities every day is great. As far as how it fits into the game, I think you can already carry so many guns on you that you should already probably have a good array, and if you didn't bring that one you need, it was probably just a slip and you forgetting it, unless then you encountering a situation you weren't aware of ahead of time, mainly because we're repeating things a lot. As far as, and I think it actually kind of fits the logistics of the game before as well, because like if my ghost can teleport and like carry around in some invisible storage like a giant head of a gate lord, he sure as heck can carry all the weapons I want.
Yeah.
So I just see this app as an extension of my ghost porting these things in for me, so to speak, if you want to fit it into the story.
No,
Make it canon.
No, I see that too. I definitely see that too. If you can be transported to and from your ship, no problem, then I definitely see. But then that makes me think, like, why not keep also the vault on your ship? I mean, I guess it is at this point.
Yeah,
So
basically.
right on.
So moving on, we the next thing they talk about is the Inferno PvP playlists. This is going to be coming to the Crucible on March 3rd, and there's going to be no radars. The biggest change coming to that. Are you guys excited for this mode?
I am.
Yes.
I am super excited about this mode. This
Stoked.
harkens back to the time of Halo. And actually, it was funny when as soon as it was revealed that Destiny was not going to have like all assault rifles would be treated to a certain power level, there wasn't going to be a difference in power level. And then it was revealed that there's a whole separate aspect that does deal with specific aspect of power level. I thought to myself, how awesome would it be to not have radar, to not have even specials, to even not have that. And people's reaction was for me to go play Halo. This is what people told me to do. And I think that this is going to be great. Like I love the idea, the fact that you're going to have to really pay attention with your eyes visually, and then there's communication involved. You know, if we're all standing by a door, all three of us see the red mark on our radar if we're paying attention. At this point, one person can say, I just saw a dude out there. And then as soon as you give that piece of information to your friends, like, it's going to strengthen the core of teamwork. Like, groups that work together as a team really well are really going to take advantage of this. And I think I just think it's going to be fun. Like, I think it's going to crank up the experience a bit. River, you had something to say about this.
Yeah, I was just saying that I'm really stoked about No Tracker, because I was a big fan of No Radar and Halo. To me, that was a great challenge, and I really love sitting down fools with my SDF clan. With no radar, it was just extremely satisfying, because these people are stupid.
No, random question: does this new mode technically mean that there's one or a bunch of weapons that have useless perks?
You mean like radar on?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man, wouldn't that be crazy if you could still have it through, something like the third man, or not the third man, Knucklehead radar?
I mean,
Yeah, that would
could
be
be a
broke.
good question.
I'm going to vote no on that, because I'm pretty sure that's broke.
Well,
Maybe.
that would basically make the Mask of the Third Man useless, because that's the only defining perk on it.
Don't you mean Knucklehead radar?
Or Knucklehead Radar, sorry. Yeah.
Warlock?
I think that the game mode is extremely interesting.
Well, all right.
That's it.
Very interesting.
And campers are going to enjoy this.
And I just want to clarify that Inferno mode is not just No Tracker. I'm sure you might have been you were probably going to get to that, Agrios, is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, I could elaborate more on that there. I just know we're coming near the end, so I was trying to get the discussion going with a small amount of info. But yeah, there's going to be simplified scoring. They're going to remove as many scoring events as possible, so kills matter a lot more. Fast objective capture. The objectives are going to count down much quicker than before, so that way it helps balance the risk reward. And there's going to be less heavy ammo. There's going to be only one set of heavy crates per match, and dead players, of course, as they do at normal Crucible now, they don't drop purple bricks.
So this is going to be a very, very interesting playlist that I'm very excited to give a shot at.
They also said that. Oh no, that's right. You were going to get to that. the simplified scoring.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be cool too. Like, I wonder if it'll just be a kill. Like, will it be a number? Will the score end up being the number of total kills? Like,
no, I don't think they'll change the scoring system like
7
that. They're just
kills.
going to take out the events as much as possible. So you'll have less opportunity to score, but
Like, you
the
get
score is
score from,
probably just going to be lower.
From like strength of the pack, and like from just all the bonus score points you get
Mhm.
from making a kill close to your objective and all that. I have
Mhm.
a feeling they're just trimming all that off the top. So you're going to
Yep.
get probably this many points for taking a zone, this many points for neutralizing a zone, and this many points for a kill. And that's like it. All those other fringe things for doing the kills certain ways, or double downs and triple downs, I bet you all that's gone.
Gotcha.
If I had to guess, that's what my guess would be anyway. Inferno uses a mix of old and new maps. They pulled a few of the maps that are so big that players may struggle to find fights. So you'll find it taking place in most of the maps. Just some of the very largest ones have been removed. Moving on. This week we had Bungie Bounty with Prime Guard. Prime Guard took on combatants with the aid of 2 PvP testers, and managed to go 9-1. So tune into that if you get a chance. Our own Jez is a member of Prime Guard.
Out there kicking ass. Good job, Jez.
I totally did everything.
Yeah, it was just you and Deej. You were all Prime Guard.
That's exactly what I wanted you to say, Jez. That's perfect. I appreciate that.
This week there's a community focus on Dames of Destiny. They're a great group. They're an all-female Destiny clan, open to all consoles, ages, and gaming levels. Their mission is to provide a positive, safe, fun environment for gamers who happen to be female. They strive to be accepting and supportive, like a family, to all of their members. They have an extremely diverse group of members, ranging from casual to pro. They have launch players and kindergartens. Their youngest member is just 8 years old, who signed up with her dad's permission, and their oldest member is in their 70s, whose son helped them connect with her. One of the things that makes them the most proud is the amazing group of women. The amazing group of women is how truly positive they stay when gaming. I have our own Belle Bunny is in the chat right now. So props to Dames on there. They're a great group.
Definitely a great group, and what a cool thing to do, because really, I don't know, I find myself hating some of these people that I come across in Destiny, like just really crappy people, and I'm so glad that I'm not a girl, like not having to deal with the subset of humans who think it's cool to harass them. It's just, I don't know, I can't even imagine how gross the internet in general would be. And so to have a safe place where you will know the people that you're playing with, and have the ability to look forward to that and be able to really drown out the noise. Super awesome and very cool.
I'd like to point out I was a dame for 2 hours during our Extra Life stream. Best 2 hours of my life.
Right, it's cool to be a dame with dames. It's difficult to be a dames out in the world by yourself. Like, can you imagine if you were a dame by yourself, David? It probably wouldn't have gone so swimmingly.
No, to be fair, I was technically kicked out anyway, so it's all good. I became one for the Extra Life stream, and then in the morning I looked and I was out of the clan, so... apparently I didn't cut the mustard. I don't know why.
You're just not dame enough.
I know,
Sorry.
right?
Sorry.
Moving on.
Moving on. That more or less wraps up most of the Bungie news there. Do we want to wrap up the show, or should I continue with other news?
Oh no!
Well, there is one thing that you're missing at the very end of the update. Keep an eye out on the blog announcement for their designer open house.
Oh, continue?
That's all they said.
That's it.
Oh.
Just keep an eye out on Bungie's blog.
Cool. I wonder what that means and will entail. Sounds exciting.
Exactly.
And just to go back one step, Inferno mode is coming March 3rd.
Awesome. Super awesome. Super excited about Inferno mode. I wonder if these are things that will be included. Like this doesn't seem like an Iron Banner thing. This doesn't seem like that much further out of the realm of PvP. Like Iron Banner is a completely different set of rules as far as accepting damage and dealing damage is concerned. But I almost feel like, Inferno could sit alongside the current PvP and just live there permanently. So, I don't know. That's it for me.
I kind of wish, I don't know, it might take away the specialness, it might make it seem old. I think that's part of the reason they cycle it, is because then it keeps it seeming fresh, because you can't play it all the time. But I mean, I honestly would like to just see all these modes around all the time, Inferno, Salvage. But I guess by rotating the list, you also help keep them, extremely populated.
Oh yeah, I could definitely see that. See that.
I'm sure none of these modes are perfect. So it's also a way for them to kind of put a little test bed in there, try it out, see how things go, what changes need to be made, take it out, work, put it back in the oven, bring it on back.
That makes sense to me.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, I actually got to get out of here, guys.
All right, shout-outs, starting with River.
Shout-outs, Dave. Hey, thanks for thanks for being on the podcast, man. I really appreciate you doing the Operation Supply job.
Thanks for having me. Can't wait to play with you.
You
That
are
sounded really, really bad.
Well, only now that you said that.
I got a lot of respect for you, man. Just saying.
You too, River. Thank you.
And I'm out.
Peace.
Bye,
Jez.
River.
Shout out to Bungie for changing things and at times that they weren't expected to change.
Awesome.
Did I cut out? Okay.
I don't know what
I
that
got
means.
quiet.
I was trying to figure out what you were talking about. It was cryptic.
Oh, no, they make these changes randomly, like without prompt, like saying, "Oh, yeah, we're gonna make the mobile armory work," and it just happens.
Yeah, you know what? When I think about that, I think about that in terms of they don't want to tell people that they might be doing this if they haven't squashed all the bugs. Like has anybody noticed if people have started losing inventory because of this? Because that would be scary and sad.
That's the first thing I said was they already have problems with people either losing their whole vaults or the last couple items they placed in their vaults. I'm wondering how this is going to affect that.
Like, I've heard people say that people are likely to start learning how to duplicate items this way, but I'm like thinking more like they're more likely to lose items.
Yeah.
Right, right. Duplication doesn't seem like as big of a concern as as getting them deleted.
I don't even see how you could actually manipulate it like that anyway, since everything's really taking place on server side and you're only instructing their server. It's not like you can disconnect in some way, shape, or form to multiply it.
Yeah, exactly.
Crimson Warlock.
My shout's going to go out to Bell Bunny and the Dames of Destiny. Bell she's just really cool. We talk a lot on Twitter, and we still need to play together, Bell. But Dames are cool. I like watching their streams. They're a fun group, so good on them for getting that community spotlight. And keep on making that safe environment for everybody. It's great.
Yeah,
Outstanding. Awesome. Agrios.
Shout out to Remy, because now that he has an Xbox One, I'm going to see him even less on PS4. So, hi Remy, I'll see you even more sometime in the future.
Right, I'm finally going to have a chance to play with the other side of the Destiny community. Like so many people just went either new gen Xbox or new gen PlayStation, and because I already had an Xbox, I knew that I definitely wanted to get into PlayStation. Like, but now it's exciting because I do see you on all the time, David. I have you in my friends list, and I remember when you moved to Texas, you were talking about not having an Xbox One, and I was like, "We'll get an Xbox 360 and we can play together." And you're like, "Yeah."
Yeah, I bought an Xbox One a month after I moved here, so it worked out pretty well.
Right, and really, it's what you needed to do. Like the Xbox 360 is on its last leg.
Yeah, it really is.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I am insanely still pleased with the job that Bungie did. Like whenever when I did have a chance to meet a bunch of those people, I made sure to tell them how marvelous Destiny looks on the Xbox 360. It really plays like a dream. The graphics are insanely great for a system that's basically going to be, trash here soon. So yeah, it's really still amazing what they did on it, but I mean, the way of the future is this Xbox One. So thank you, Agrios, for that shout out. David.
Shout out to Bell, shout out to Pyro, shout out to everybody who helps make these events possible, because I wouldn't be able to do it without you guys. And I can't wait for Saturday, February 28th at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Standard Time. Be there, come watch, and if you don't, I'll find you and I will... Never mind. Anyway, moving on. Thank you guys very much. I love being on the show again. And see you Saturday.
Awesome. Well, it's always great to have you, David. You are actually probably the first person in the Destiny community. No, that's not true. Chance was the first person to really make me feel welcome, but overly welcome. Like I thought to myself, like, man, I think this guy would pay me to do what I'm doing if he could. And then you came along, and you were this voice of reason. I really thought you were much older than you were. Like you're the
Not
tone
as
of
bad
your...
as Bife did. Bife thought I was 28, FYI.
Right?
Calling you out, Bife. Anyway, go ahead.
I thought that you were older than that.
Yeah, for real. Like, everyone thinks I'm so damn old. I'm 18, by the way, everybody in the chat. I'm 18. I'll own up to that. I'm 18 years old. I might not seem like it, but I am.
Right, right. You definitely don't seem like it. I just turned 37 in January.
Get out of here. Get out of here,
Right.
Remy. Stop talking. No, you are. Get out of here.
Totally. So yeah. So it was really great being part of the dispatch when I was. It was I don't know, seeing people work in a group like that really helped inspire me to create this Guardian 1. Like, I knew that I wanted to do something. But until I saw how tightly you guys worked together and how everything really, one of you did one thing, it was really like probably how it would feel like being one of those Power Rangers or like Voltron. One of you is the right hand, and that's all you do. So, but working together, you were this giant machine, and that's super cool.
That's been behind everything I've ever done with this community, working together.
Right. And so my shout out is to the Destiny Dispatch because you guys really, as young as you all are. I mean, I guess Jackie's not really that young, but
did you just call Jackie old? I'm going to call her right now.
It's like as young as you guys all are. It was really an eye opener. It really was a wonderful thing to be part of, and really pushed me to make what I wanted to do that much better. So thank you to the Dispatch, and that it definitely includes you, David. So awesome. In addition, I would like to thank everyone listening for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you have any questions or suggestions, or have topics you wish to be discussed on the show, please leave them in the comments below or send them to feedback@guardian1.net, and we will see you next week.